Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about racing local and why I think it's so important. My name is Marty Gaal. I've been a triathlon and running coach for more than 20 years, and I would like to share what I think about this. So, lots and lots of reasons to do your local racing events. The first one is it's very easy to get there. So imagine, the race is 20 or 30 minutes away. Instead of having to travel and pack all your stuff and pack your family and all that stuff, you can just wake up in your own bed, roll out, and get there and get your event going. That is number one. Number two, using your local races as tests are extremely helpful. So if you are into methodical training of any sort, you have probably done a threshold test, whether it's on the bike or the run, and you can easily use a 5K, a 10K as your run test. You can easily use a sprint or Olympic distance triathlon to get a good idea, maybe not a perfect idea, but a very good idea of what your functional threshold is on the bike. So that is number two. Number three, and this might be the more important one, for those of you that are doing big events, you sign up for your MDOT or your marathon, but then you don't do other races, you're missing out on a key component of race morning. That is all the stress that you got to deal with. So even if you're the most calm, cool, experienced athlete, you are going to have some elevation of anxiety, nerves, getting pumped, etc. And if you don't experience that a few times prior to your big event, it's very likely to have a negative effect on you on your big race day. So for that reason, I think it's very important to get out to close by race and use it as a practice session so you can run through your transitions. You can rehearse your race strategy. You don't have to do a half Ironman if you're training for 70.3, but you could do a Olympic distance that's just down the road, and even train or race at your half Ironman pace. How do you get through the transitions? How smooth are you? What can you work on better? Going to a race and practicing this is the number one way to get better at it, because while you can set up a transition just for a practice session right at your local beach or your local lake, it's not going to be the same thing. You're not going to have 200 to 500 people running around with you. You're not going to feel the energy of the race environment, so you're missing out on a lot of components of that. And the fourth one, which is also pretty important, is to support your local racing community. So, the big races have the monopoly on these destination events, but that's not to be ignoring everything that is positive about doing the races that are right in your backyard. So within my area, I'm in the Raleigh area of North Carolina, I've got 5 or 6 sprint triathlons that are, within the 30 to 40 minute range of my house, multiple 5K, 10K, half marathon, a couple marathon options around here, as well as, cyclocross, bike events, gravel rides, things like that. And all of these race producers are part of your community, right? So let's talk about that for a second. My last video was talking all about community, but these are the folks that are going to take your entry fee and reinvest it in your city. Whereas if you go to an MDOT in big city X, it's going to generate a lot of revenue for that city, but then MDOT is going to take that and put it towards more MDOT stuff elsewhere. And I'm not criticizing MDOT, that's a business, but think about the local impact that you can have with your race dollars sometimes, because that does make a difference in what is available to you down the road. If you don't support the local events will go away. It's a fact of life. The fifth one, and also part of community, it's a great way to get out and meet people that are in your age group, that you're competing against, that you can judge yourself against, see how you fare up against your local competitors, and have a good time. That's, we can all train until our face is blue, but if you're not having some fun with it, then maybe you're missing the mark a little bit on the purpose of recreational exercise, because we're supposed to have a good time. So getting a little group together and going and supporting your local triathlon is a fun way to, you go out, you have your morning, you race as hard as you can, you get together, you go have breakfast after, maybe you go to somebody's house and have a cookout. Fantastic, right? Whereas traveling, it's all super fun, but there's just so many more hurdles that you have to get through to get to the event, and then you can have your good time. So, those are my reasons for racing local. Now, personally, I mostly race local, right? Because I'm not as competitive as I used to be, so it's not a concern for me to go out and do my 70.3 or Ironman race. But that's not that I didn't do that, but I like just walking down the street and jumping in a 5K or a 10K. I mean, literally, this weekend I'm doing a trail race that I could jog to the start if I really wanted to. And these are the things that incentivize you to get up in the morning and maybe put a little more effort in than you would otherwise. So if you're not currently doing some local events, you should really look into it, if for no other reason than to get some practice under your belt before you show up at your big event. This one is all about community. This is us. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.